Welcome to the Purple Stars podcast. I'm Sarah, your host, and we have another amazing guest for you today. He is an international, well-known photographer, very talented, and above all, he's a person with a really good heart. Please welcome Ben Yew.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Ben. We're so excited to have you on the show. We have a lot of hours time difference at the moment. I am in LA, and I think you're in Perth, right?
I'm in, south of Perth, but yes, around Perth, region.
It's something that I love about our show, that we can connect people from around the world, and that's why we're really excited to have you on the show. You and I have known each other for how many years now? I think we were in touch 2014 or something, or 13, definitely before I started coaching.
Yes.
Yeah, many years ago. Back then, when I was at college, I did a wedding magazine with my parents because they have a PR agency, and we were in touch with you, and you did one of our editorials. And I remember I did the interview with you, and I was just mesmerized by your pictures. So I'm so glad that we stayed in touch, and we have another interview, a little bit different, but I think it will be very exciting and people will love it. So let me start. You're a photographer, you're an artist, you are a storyteller. We would love to know, as an artist, how did you find the courage to stay true to your passion? Because in our society, so many artists here, please find a proper job. Please do something where you can earn money, or are doing art should just be the hobby. That could even become from the parents, from friends, someone that's close to us. What gave you the courage to stick to your passion rather than pushing for a more conventional path?
Oh, that's a very good question. I will start with a bit of humor first, which is, I am Asian descendant from Malaysia, originally Chinese. And we have this cultural thing that a real job is a professional job. Which whatever professional job there is, it could be a lawyer, accountant, or doctor, or whatever. That is sort of the path that's already been chosen for you. So I'm sort of a black sheep of the family. I didn't follow the path, but I did said yes to my parents to say at least I get a degree of something. So I went to UK, got my degree in international business, and I've done my part. And I think at least, I graduated from something. Coming back, came back from the uni degree. I just got a lot of different random jobs and tried to find my way. Now, having said that, once I got my first camera, I was always looking forward for the weekend to capture, what I like to capture. So that sort of made me realize my true passion is photography. So going back to that question of, how do I stay true to my, passion or direction? I got confronted a few times by random people saying that, what do you do? I said, I'm a photographer. They said, no, I'm in a real job. I said, there is a real job. There is a career path for me now. But it took me a long time to get there. I think it took me like 6 years before I got there. It is the confidence that I built along the way. It sometimes, even I doubt myself. Is this a proper path to follow? Can this be a career thing? It doesn't feel like a job, because when you're having fun with your hobby and get paid for it, sometimes you pinch yourself, is this right, or is this just a dream? So what I did was, I think it is like a thing that you pick up along the way, and it adds confidence. It's like baby steps, small parts of confidence you pick up along the way. And for me, it's the people that inspired me. Now, camera for me is a tool. Well, now it's a tool. Previously, it's like, it's a camera and all that. But now it's a tool for me to connect with people. If I don't hold a camera and I don't have a story that I want to be inspired from that person or the subject, they wouldn't open up to me. I can walk on the street and say, can you tell me a life story? They don't know how to tell me a life story. But if I approach someone, it's like, I like to, like probably what you do. Like, I like to, know more about your story. I feel that you could have something that could inspire people. So there's a path I sort of love to go along the way to keep me going, regardless of some negative feedback from people. I know. So what I did to summarize that, I guess, I followed my heart and gave clarity to my mind, and let my dreams flow, and just go and keep experimenting, exploring new ways to do things in a way to keep me focused on my main goal, and to not let distraction get in the way. Distraction will come, no doubt about that. Is how your focus is stronger than your distraction. So that's how I do it, I guess. Yeah.
So when you experience a lot of distractions on the outside, how do you noise cancel and come back to the focus inward, the focus on your path, on your passion, and on your heart, as you said, that you listened to your heart and you followed your heart? Because I am a true believer, regardless at what stage we are in our path, whether it's in a personal life or a professional life, that always distractions are coming in the beginning, in the middle, in the end. And it's all about reconnecting. What helps you to reconnect?
Let's see. I'm curious. I'm very curious, always curious about trying new things. Now I do shoots on top of the tallest building. I do shoots in a place where people don't normally get access to. And that's my passion, because I'm curious. I want to learn something. So my passion to learn, it's quite focused. So sometimes, when the distraction come, how do I noise cancel that? Is again going back to what I really want to experience. Say, for example, you like to say travel. It's like, I need to maybe visit the Eiffel Tower. I really need to, experience roller coaster, the tallest, the most crazy one, jump off the plane and all that. It's sort of the adrenaline rush in a way. Sometimes it gives me, and when I'm on the job or I do what I love, I forget about everything else, like love at first sight. Everything melts away. I'm so focused that even for a couple on a wedding day, I don't know, when I'm there, I feel that I am experiencing things that I know would not happen again. Regardless if it's a commercial shoot or a wedding, it's fleeting moments. This is not going to happen again. So I really don't take that for granted. I really appreciate that. And I'm not just creating memories for people. I'm creating memories for myself. Each location, each wedding, each shoot, and everything, it's new for me. So to keep the noise out, I always focus on my passion to want to experience new things, and to coming back to where I'm probably going. I like to push my boundaries to know how far can I improve this, and to know that where's the limit and how can I push that limit, because I feel and I believe I'm only as good as what I did the last job. So doesn't matter how many awards I win or what I did in the past, it's not relevant anymore, because what is relevant, if you don't do well for the last shoot, you are as good as the last one. So I need to make sure that I'm always like improving, evolving, and pushing my boundaries. Hopefully I answered the question. Yeah.
And I'm curious, your mindset is focused on being better than at your last job. For a lot of other people, they focus on everything they've already achieved their entire career. Their focus is on their titles, the championships they won, the awards they won.
They focus on that, yeah.
And your focus is very different. And I wonder, where did this focus and this approach come from?
Okay. To be honest, I don't know. It's just along the way I grow from it. Because if you focus on, well, there's no right or wrong to things, please don't quote me on that. But from my personal point of view, what you have done in the past is not, it helps you in a career, no doubt about that. But for my personal point of view and my personal focus, it is not important, because if you keep looking at the past, it's sort of you're like a has-been kind of person. You're no longer there. So, and to keep improving, like, is my job ever good? Is it perfect? I would say never. It doesn't matter if that shot won me an award or, whatever work that everyone's praised about it. it's not relevant because there is a problem with that shot and there's a way to improve it even if you think it's nearly perfect. Because the moment you see perfection, it's time to move on because you're done. If you can't see a way to improve a thing that you've done, you need to move on. So if you keep looking at the past, all the different work that you've done and say, oh, that's amazing, or it's like even the judges say it's a perfect shot. No, it's not. It's in their point of view, it is. But in my point of view, it should never be because there's always detail, attention to detail, how things could improve. So I guess it is more to always not the negative point of view that you look at finding fault with your work, but finding ways that you could improve. It is good. This is a good start. You're 90% there or 99% there. But there must be ways that you can see or find a way to get that better. Maybe through Photoshop these days, maybe through a bit of, there's an integration of tech or whatever it is, or just a composition. Maybe the light could be improved. Maybe the shot is perfect, but I'm not feeling it. Or maybe there are shots that I'm feeling it, but technically it could be improved. So there's a lot of ways to look into how you can improve this. And that is what is in my mind, that every time when I, got a shot, like say, how can I improve it? I totally forget what I've done in the past because it is a stepping stone from where I am now, and I need to keep going to improve myself in the future. So I never focus on what I have. To be honest, if there's a way that I don't even share what I did or in the past, I would, but because it's commercial, you need to show that, you have some experience what you do. So I left it. I kept some things there. But if given a choice, even the buy and all that, I just prefer to just say, well, I am just starting again. I'm new. I always like to feel that I'm new in the field. So you're excited and you are passionate. If you're in someone's like maybe 30 years doing this and they say, and I met quite a few guys on the field, like, shooting videos or photos sometimes. It's like, I can't wait to get out from this. I get a few more deals or I get a few more. It's like, that's when you should move on already because number one, I feel that if you're not enjoying your job, this is not where you want to be already. I really enjoy my job. I forgot I'm working sometimes and I feel that I need to keep doing because this is the one thing that I feel I can really give me a clear direction in life. I know whatever I do or people that I connect with sort of helps me build my future. So it is a big one. That's why, earlier I don't know how to line that up, but it's sort of a journey to understand yourself, to know like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Hopefully I answer your question. Sorry.
Absolutely. Ben, how do you find the balance between wanting to improve yourself and wanting to improve your work and focusing on the 1% that can be improved or the 10%, and at the same time being proud of yourself and proud of what you have achieved? Because I think it's a very fine balance.
Yeah.
Being grateful and being proud of the now, but yet striving at the same time for more.
Yeah, it is. Finding the balance is tough. Even those days, physically as well, when I was traveling in Europe quite a lot last time, and to have a balance between my family and my work life is quite challenging at times. And also when it comes to the creative point of view, it is there that sometimes I do look back and am grateful of what I've done or achieved in the past. Although I don't dwell on that a lot, say, it's an ego stroking thing, but it sort of gave me a bit of like, okay, I think I am on the right path. Am I there yet? I don't think I'll ever get there. And that's, for me, is good. But how I get a balance is, looking back at what I've done, achieved. But mainly for me, is like, because I did the shoot, because I experienced this, now I made some new friends. I'm happier this way. And the experience is amazing. I shot with some awesome wedding planners everywhere. And I like being a part of a team. And it feels good that, when you were there, say for a wedding or for event or something big, the memories that you create is something that you look back and you smile about, like, oh, thank God I did that. And sometimes, I know it sounds funny, thank God things didn't work out well, because it's when things didn't work out well you learn more about yourself and the people around you. Just like, say, some couples or some people, they are good clients, they are challenging clients, but you learn more about yourself, how you handle that. And them and the people that you work with, like, they could be really nice or pretentious and all that, but when challenges appear, you see how they solve a problem. They panic or sometimes, or they do it well. You know that person, oh, that guy, that girl, or whoever that is, that legit, they're just really experienced person or really kind person. When things go wrong, how they step up and take accountability for it. So all this, when I look back, the experience, I love that experience, being in a moment, being in a problem solving, and that sort of give me a good balance. Like, I live a good life. I love that. I'm ticking all the boxes that I want to do, on a deathbed and all that. Like, I love my life. So for that, it sort of helped balance it off. And that, like what you just mentioned, I'm grateful and thankful for what the opportunity that was given. And I never forget that, because some people say, but that guy is better. He traveled to more countries. Yeah. But where I am, I've not done, to that extent. But where I am, I'm very happy where I am. I just want to do better. But would I keep getting, say, maybe jealous or looking what they achieve? No, because I'm pacing with myself. I grow based on my own level of growth, and I know what I can achieve. Yes, some people take more time, some people take less time, but you are pacing yourself. I think I spoke to someone about, one of the business coach I think I met some time ago, just a casual chat. And he asked me, like, who are you comparing with? I said, no one, just myself. I'm pacing myself. Yes, there are some people who do similar things to me, but I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at myself, because it's healthier that way. And I feel my mind works that way as well, that the moment you start looking at someone and comparing with someone else, your competitor or whatever, that's when you lose your balance, because you're following their path, not your path set for you, because you're trying to imitate their path. Oh, they say got this, got that, but do I need that? Would that make me happy? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But where I'm going, is this what I need in my life? Or that's the difference, going back to a need and want. Like, yes, I would like to be Elon Musk with money and all that, yes. But would I want his life? Hell no, I don't want his life. The amount of cameras in front of him, the privacy, that you got nothing. So how you balance that? Is money more important, career more important, or your self-satisfaction or your happiness is more important? And I look at it this way, that one of the reasons why I migrated to Australia, because I feel that if I work really hard, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, I make my money, and I finally have the money to retire, what will I do? I said, I'll live near the beach, like go jogging every morning, maybe have just chill and just have a really scenic and relaxing vibe and all that. I said, why not have a shortcut and skip all that, climbing out the corporate ladder, maybe getting in trouble a few times and, a lot of political thing to get on top, or just skip that life and jump straight to retirement. And retirement for me just means doing what I love in a place like, near the beach, which I'm staying at the moment. So it's sort of like a shortcut to save time, to not go through all the hardship and pain. I do go through a different hardship and pain, but not that sort of hardship that you lose friends and colleagues along the way, but to get straight to the life that I want to live. Is it easy? Hell no, it's not. Do I have the money of Elon Musk? Hell no. But happiness is important too. That's where the balance comes in. It's the mindset of what you think makes you happy, and do not follow the path of someone else, even it looks good, but follow your own path and set your own pace. And it's just you and yourself.
What helped you to find your own path? Is there something where you can pinpoint it, or is it mainly following your heart and, not comparing yourself to others, as you said?
There is no one specific thing that I can pinpoint. It is a progressive thing that gets add on along the way. Like, even say the style of my photography, I didn't know this is my way. I shot a few times. The couple say, oh, I love this a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that way. Then the second, third, fourth couple keep saying the same thing. So I said, okay, I'm seeing consistency in it. So maybe I should focus more on that. So it goes the same for my life and my direction and all the other things as well. It's like I pick things up along the way based on feedback of not one person, of people who I trust or care or respect. And it just, adds on to it. That's how I'm always evolving in a way. Like now I'm shooting a lot of commercial, and for my other project with the Yuri.co, is I evolved from shooting natural light to shooting more of a studio setting light, but focusing on storytelling. But what I had from my wedding time is I learned about human connection. I learned about, like, I'm not shooting a supermodel here. I'm shooting some, very ordinary people or nice people or experienced in different field people, but they are not models. They are entrepreneurs maybe. So to connect with them is very different from, you don't have to maybe connect with the models. They know what to do when they're here. So it's picking up all those skills along the way and all the experience that, I keep evolving. So there's no one pinpoint or point that I can say, oh, this is the reason what changed me. It did not. It's just a progressive thing, I guess. Yeah.
You just talked about uread.co, one of your projects that's really close to your heart. I am a huge fan of your portfolio. It includes a collection of entrepreneur portraits with big impact. Could you share more about the idea behind it?
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because years ago, I've got a bit of backstory. Years ago, one of my bucket lists was to start a magazine. Like, I think you did it. I did not. I wanted to do like a printed magazine, and I partnered someone, and then, if it didn't happen because my business partner decided to, go another way. But having said that, I was so busy waiting, I didn't follow through. I did not, focus on that. So yeah, it's okay. Time went by, years and years. I shoot more destination wedding, got so busy, I forgot about my bucket list. And as we all do, because we are so busy with our daily life. And then, I had my health problem, and let's say on the deathbed, I've been to a hospital a few times, to a serious thing. And I was thinking, like, what have I done or what have not done? What is on my bucket list? And one of my bucket list that wasn't ticked yet was the magazine. So I said, maybe I should do a magazine, but what about if I'm not shooting weddings and not pursuing weddings so much anymore? Oh, not at all. Only for selected people. So I think to myself, I need to do a magazine about something featuring someone. So during my time in the hospital, I think a lot about. I was inspired by a lot of people through YouTube or quotes or books. I don't read a lot, but I think I watch a lot of YouTube stuff that inspired me with their story, and I felt that now this is big for me because there are times in your life that you feel very vulnerable. There are times in your life that the dark side caught up in your mind. And no matter how positive, how strong you are mentally, it catches up on you. So it caught up on me a bit, and felt that, gee, this is not going right. This is not going to the right direction that I want to do, or how do I control this? And I do not want to, lay it out on people that they carry the burden of what I'm going through. So it's more towards how I distract my mind and find a voice in my head to be strong and keep going. So there are voices in your head that you need to control. There are voices in your head that you need to find out to keep you focused on where you want to go. So at the right time, at the right moment, where you are most vulnerable and one thing could go really wrong, someone said something right, or you found something right on YouTube or whatever, and that changes. You just need to pass through that minute or an hour or a day of vulnerability, and then you're safe. It's just that gap sometimes, like hunger. You are hungry at a certain time that you feel that I'm going to die if I don't eat anything. But when you pass that stage, the hunger comes back later and all that. But during that stage, you don't feel the pain anymore because you're busy doing what you're busy getting distracted for something else. But once you pass that, say, wait a minute, I don't feel that I'm in the dark side anymore because you're focused on other thing. So this where this comes in is like, where this came in is that I'm trying to get the voices in as many people as possible to share their thoughts. That quote, that story, that vision could help save one life. That's all I need, one life. So it's just to put it out there. But if I were, getting depressed, it's like, will I go to the bookshop and say, maybe I should get a book about depression and read those stuff? It's not going to be so easy because your mind is not in the right place. So how I want to encourage people to say pick up the book or read about a story and all that is to have interesting portrait of someone, say that's an interesting person, without thinking that could help them, is to think that, oh, that's a good shot. It could be entertaining. So let me pick out the book. And then once they pick out the book, oh, that's interesting. Again, step one is to distract their mind off with interesting images. And then when they start reading the stories or, whatever voice they want to share or the message they want to share, they realize that this is exactly what I needed. This is what I needed. This is something. Then they start reflecting, that quote changed my life. So everyone is different. That's why to have as many stories possible to hopefully have one to connect with someone. So it's about trying to get you back on the right track through entertainment maybe, but still very impactful storytelling. So that was the sort of the idea behind it. But I did not just sort of thought of that. It's sort of, again, going back to progressive. I didn't know what I want to do, so I met up with the first person, and the first person wasn't supposed to be my first person. The first person sort of called me last minute and said, "Oh, I can't do it today, but I'm from Bunbury, which is 2 hours from Perth, so I drove to Perth just for that shoot." And that guy told me I can't make it last minute. So I'm sitting there in my car. I was like, I need to feature someone. I don't know who should I feature. So I just Google. I was like, maybe a tailor would be good. I don't know why a tailor got in my soul. Tailor in Perth or whatever. So I called out this guy. I messaged him on Instagram. Obviously, he didn't reply because he was like, I'm going to meet him in the next 10 minutes. And I literally drove near his place already. But he haven't replied because he haven't had time because it's just 10 minutes. So I just rocked up and said, hey, have you received my message? He said, what message? I said, I just sent you a text message on Instagram. He's like, oh, you did? Oh, it was like, what? Just now? I said, yeah, I just decided to rock up. So I went straight to it. I'd like to feature you in my magazine. I want to start. I don't know, but it's more towards maybe inspiring story. I just make things up because I feel that, I don't know, I need to get started. So I went there and his funny thing, he said yes. So yeah, I got started and went for it and did everything then before I regret or change my mind. This is what I do. I sometimes come up with stupid ideas, but sometimes I felt a stupid idea could work if I push through first. At least if I fail, I've done it to know what not to do again. But from there, it grew and grew. Instead of just stories, becomes pushing boundaries, because I push boundary for them, the subject, as well as for myself. Because number one, I know I don't do that. We've done that before. Number two is for them to say yes to this, which I've never done before. And for me to push myself to, maybe write about it or find a story about it, or it could not even work sometimes, but I like to try. So it's about pushing boundaries and the artistic way of that. So yeah, hopefully I sort of summarize that in, that whole.
I love that. And I love how you started that magazine, and it's so inspiring. And I'm sure a lot of people out there feel inspired and feel encouraged if things go wrong and it's a rejection because the person can't do it that day, to redirect and to improvise and be like, okay, what can I do now? And I just love that that you sent a message, drove to the guy and said, hey, did you read my message from 10 minutes ago? It's great. And after all, like, the only thing that could have happened that he says no, but then at least you tried.
Because if you said no, I'll message someone else.
You message someone else, exactly. The tailor next door.
I'll find someone else.
Could you, because I've seen you have interviewed many people, you've taken now beautiful, very inspiring portraits of amazing people. Could you share about one that resonated with you personally very deeply?
Oh, that's honestly, I can't answer you that because everyone is so different. And it's not because I'm trying to be politically correct, because every time I meet someone else would inspire me deeply. Some people more, obviously. And to be honest, my .co, the magazine at the moment, is quite backlogged because of my other projects that I've picked up along the way. So there's a few others that I've not shared yet, and probably go straight to the book. But
if we come back to what you said, focusing on the last shoot, who did you shoot last? Let's talk about that person.
Oh, gee, I can't remember who I shot last. It was a long time ago. I can't remember who I shot last because I keep stacking people up. But I got to look on my website to know who I shot last. I really can't remember. I got that bad memory. Yeah, I can't remember. But I do have a few other people in mind. Yeah. I do have a few people in mind. But to just maybe get back to the question of one of the person who really inspired me actually wasn't featured at all. Not inspired me that I connect with. Like a bit of a backstory on that. When I was in Europe, I was interviewing quite a few guys and all that stuff. And I was having a quite challenging journey, not business, but on a personal journey. I got a bit lost right there. So what I did was I just apply what I did. I just distract myself by saying that, okay, every city that I visit or go pass through, I'd like to feature one or two persons. So I just reach out or just connect with entrepreneurs out there to just connect. So anyway, funny thing is, it was in Vienna. Where are you probably from? Are you from Vienna?
Sorry, the connection cut for a bit. The last thing I could hear, you said when you're in a city, you connect with two people and you reach out to them.
Yeah, I connect with as many people as I can and reach out to them and just to connect. And because I believe, even then, sometimes I forgot about it, but I do believe and always believe that everyone that passed through in our life or cross path in our life, there's a reason behind it. We just don't know it. That even us, it's like suddenly I felt the urge to say, maybe I could say hi to you, like just that. And then things, then you asked me for this interview, which is pretty cool. Sorry. So I was in Vienna during my personal turmoil, going a bit crazy there. And I reached out to this lady through some, I don't know what was it, like some networking thing. And prior to that, Vienna wasn't on my journey list. It was added last minute because I realized in life, when I traveled last time, I could have planned every few days I go to a different city. But this time I extended, say, I know I'm going to stop by Berlin, and I heard Berlin's amazing. So I extended 2 weeks instead of just 3 days. I extended 2 weeks, and the longer you are, the more you indulge locally and know people personally, and that's what I like to do. So anyway, Vienna was added last minute. It wasn't on the list, but I decided to go there. And I realized that one of my favorite movie that I watched, before sunset, before sunrise, is shot in, one of it, I can't remember, was shot in Vienna. And I love that movie, not because, it's just Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke walking around. It's nothing. There's no other actor and actresses. There's just two and walking around. But I love the connection. I felt that the script was really good. Moving on from there, it's like, I would like to visit the spots that they film. But then I look at my schedule. I don't have the time to visit all the beautiful scenic spots in Vienna because I got shoots to do and people to meet. I got no time for this. So anyway, so happened, I contacted this lady. I think she's probably one of my first. And then she said, let's catch up. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I rock up to the place. Somehow she don't know why she wanted to meet at the theme park. So below the nice old Ferris wheel thing that, I don't know, like vintage stuff. We were literally right there on the ground floor where the cafe is, and we met up. And then I look at it, it's like, damn, this is the place where, the couple had their first kiss up there in a Ferris wheel. Like, this is the place I wanted to be, and you're right here. I'm like, what? You can meet anywhere, but you chose that place. So I was like, okay, fine. I mean, what a sign, man. What a sign. But it's okay. So I met her. She came about. I never met her before. and we chatted and all that. And I told her my story, my journey. That time I threw, my health crisis after that. So I told her my new vision, what I'm doing and all that. Somehow I inspired her, and that wasn't my intention. My intention is just connect. It was supposed to be like a business meeting, but it went so personal. And she shared her personal story with me. She opened up as well. I opened up as well. And then she said, Ben, it's funny that you shared this with me and we connected today. It's quite random. You just answered my question, my quote that are written in front of my mirror that I look at every day. Every day I look at it. I don't understand the message behind that. You just answered my question, something about time. I can't remember the whole thing. She said, 2 years. You answer that. I was like, wow. So, and she really interesting that she said, oh, her mind just opened up. She's just like, wow, I got that. I really like to sponsor you because what you did for me, the message is amazing. Like even just the message you shared and your story inspiring and all that. I would like to sponsor you for the whole Europe journey. I'm like, that's a lot of money. Are you sure? Of course, I said, no, I can't do that. I mean, just buy me a coffee, I'll be fine. I'm not going to take so much money because I was in Europe for nearly 2.5 months, I think, 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, the travel fees, and it's a lot of money. And I'm not going to take that from a stranger. I mean, you probably use the money to help others who probably need it more. But yeah, it is so eye-opening to know that people can open up like that to offer so much in the first time we met. And then throughout my journey, even to Rihanna, I met another guy in a cafe that the couple film as well. It's everything seems to line up for me. And I took the wrong train to somewhere. I walk out that bridge. It's the bridge that I want to visit as well. It's just everything seems to line up. It's just how you connect the dots and see what the path is slowly opening for you. It's all of the mindset thing. You can look at a negative way and don't see the connection. It's for me to be going back to grateful and thankful to know that whatever bad things happen to you, you needed it. Because if I didn't go through my health crisis, I wouldn't appreciate life as much or thankful or grateful or remind myself that balance in life is important. And I look at my kids that, there are times I look at it, maybe it's the last time I see my kids. So that journey is sort of very inspiring for myself and eye-opening to given, say, a second chance in life. It's sort of seeing things like, maybe to summarize this, is to connect the dots. You need to see the dots, connect the dots, and whatever good, bad, ugly things that happen to you, you need to experience this because there is a purpose. Like, say, what you're doing now, there is a purpose. And sometimes you may see 5 purpose out of it, but maybe there's a lot more as you go along. You learn more about yourself, more about people, and more about how you can help others or inspire others in a different way. So I know I went off the track a bit on who really inspired me. Is that lady somehow counter-inspired me because of, I don't know, it's so random, but the way that she can sort of trust and believe in someone random, it's really good. And I know there's a lot of scammers out there, and I could be one sitting there trying to cheat your money. I don't know what. But yeah, I guess it's the energy that when you connect with someone, people can feel that. You can feel the passion. Unless there are really good scammers out there that, really good acting and all that. But I don't know about that. But somehow she inspires me in return to know about myself, I guess. So I don't know if I'm, answered that question. But yeah, that's sort of a story I just went off track with. Yeah.
And I love that you went off track. It's a track that I love and something that really sets my heart on fire. I'm a big believer to trust in that life's timing and that life is our friend. And even if it seems in certain moments that we are off track or that things are not aligning for us, when we settle in the deep belief that life is our friend and that we are always provided with the tools that we need, things will align. As you said, you were, you took the wrong train, but you ended up at the bridge. You stuck to you had your vision of all the places you wanted to see. You open up to a stranger. She opened up to you, even in a place that you wanted to see. And if we loosen the grip, and I think that's a big thing, especially for artists, if we loosen the grip, the most magical things can happen. really can happen. And I really always picture when I meditate that I open my hands, like loosening the grip, because that's when my hands are free to receive all the gifts, all the people, all the great experiences. And you seem to be one of the people that naturally do that because everything you have shared so far, it's really like grounding yourself into your path and saying, okay, this is my path. I trust myself. I trust in life's timing. Life is my friend. And just always reconnecting with your purpose and your heart. And my heart right now is saying that I'm so glad you agreed to doing 2 episodes. So because we have to talk so much more to talk about. We want to talk about your health crisis. We want to talk about one of your biggest fascinations, how you establish trust with individuals, such as this lady that you met in Vienna, and also about self-doubts, and not to forget about animals. So everyone, it's a wrap for today, and we cannot wait to have you back next Wednesday.